24 Hours of Spa is one of the most revered motorsport events in the world. It's a grueling battle of wits, wills, and sheer luck across the Belgian landscape. In Update 1.13, Gran Turismo 7 brought us this legendary event condensed down to a single hour of action-packed, dynamic fury, showcasing the breadth of breathtaking capability this game engine is capable of. Join me as I get into the legendary Mercedes CLK GTR, one of the most successful GT cars in history, for an action-packed race against the grid of GT cars and Mother Nature herself. At the end, I'm confident you'll feel this is one of the most immersive sim racing experiences out there. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you like what you see, and let's do this. No messing around, we're starting at the 24-hour layout start line, straight into Eau Rouge. We dive on the inside, one position already, another one on the outside through Radeon. Coming up on our third overtake by the time we've gotten onto the Kemmel Straight. So one thing you can probably tell from this is that the CLK GTR is ridiculously OP for this race. You have a full hour to overtake everyone, but I'm going to take a guess and say it won't be that long. So we dive on the inside going into Lacombe. Don't quite manage to make it stick. Whoa, crazy thing with the M8 there. Those of us who've done the Nürburgring circuit experience know how fun that thing is to drive as we dive on the inside of Bruxelles. Kind of holding it. Okay, not too bad, not too bad, not too bad. So far a pretty successful first third of a lap. Can't go too wide here. The green, for whatever reason, is extremely bumpy here in Gran Turismo 7 land. Not so much in real life from what I'm aware, as we get behind the 458 Italia GT3. Beautiful car, lacking in sponsors though. Maybe Ferrari's lost its brand confidence, I don't know. All the same, we get to appreciate its beauty for a split second as I dive on the inside and get crunched. They really like to sandwich you in this. Player awareness, not their strong suit, as we overtake the WRX on the outside. Going through Stablo. Nice big cluster frost overtake there. The game's making it very nice and easy. Okay, getting squeezed a little bit by the Corvette. Still driving hyper aggressively, right past the R35. Well, right next. Okay, getting squeezed by the R35 as well. Apparently the AI are not too fond of us existing in this lap. So far, a really good lap though. I've lost count of the amount of overtakes as we go through the bus stop chicane for the very first time. One of very, very many in a 1 hour race. But so far, so good. Here we go, 7th. I think it's from 20th, yeah, from 20th to 7th in one lap. So that gives you an idea of how powerful the CLK GTR was, how amazing the GT1 category in the late 90s actually was, and how we've unfortunately in many ways kind of just gone backwards from there. Here we go, overtaking the M6, I believe it is. Whoa, that is fast. The little thing looks like a little flying saucer, little statesman flying saucer. The nice protruding BMW badge, Mercedes badge, all one and the same to me, these European luxury brands. As we overtake the Vision, really nice clean overtake into Lacombe here. It's so easy to drive this car, and that's with no traction control at all. Now going into Pouon, behind the Dodge Viper here, so he won't have the aero to keep up with us through here. Nope, as expected. Okay, just bumps us. Nice little love tap on the side. They seem to love doing that, say I. Now, time acceleration is of course set to 24 times as we come up behind yet another WRX. You will see the time of day quite visibly changing on each one of these laps. And this is of course, these are the exciting laps here as we cross over into the podium positions. Third place for the first time, 2 seconds behind second. So far, so good. 4 minutes into the race, I would say that it's been a stellar performance so far. If only real life were this easy. And braking hard for the bus stop, we can pretty much outbrake everyone here, including the beautiful AMG. Nice, not navy blue, just blue AMG. Okay, cool. They're really not big on making space for us, are they? We'll see how a CLK GTR from 97, I think it is, compares to a modern day Toyota Supra. We are in second. Getting purple sectors all round. So our first proper lap was a 2:13. Not bad for a start. I'm still feeling my way out with this car. Still trying to understand what the limits are. That's too far, in case you were wondering. That's too much of the curbing. And apparently that scored us a penalty as well. Fair enough. Not a major penalty. I think we'll recover somehow. As I almost rear-end the Supra there. It's amazing size difference, isn't it? Because the Supra is not a large car, but the AMG just looks tiny compared to it. It's like this tiny little luxury UFO. Look at that thing. Beautiful. Bring it back. Bring it back, FIA. GT1. Get a really nice external view here. Fully ray traced, of course. I've run optical flow for you guys to bump this up to 60 FPS. This external view would otherwise be 30 FPS because we're running full ray tracing. No compromises here. That's just how much I love you all. We cross the line for the third time. Really, really impressive lighting effects in the cockpit here. Maybe slightly too dramatic with the darkness, you know? I wouldn't expect it to be purely black in the middle of the day inside a car, but hey, whatever. Looks more dramatic on the monitor that way, so we'll take it. Nothing else out there. Look at that. Look at those hues of yellow that come onto the car from the setting sun. And the faint mist in the distance. The rendering of the track way into the distance, the hills and the mountains in the back. I mean, that little attention to detail, including people moving in the stands, absolutely brilliant. And every lap you get a slight alteration to that experience. It becomes something else, and that's the nature of immersion, isn't it? It's when you go through these laps and every time there's something a little bit different, something catches your eye that didn't catch your eye the first or the second or the third time. This is when I was really starting to enjoy the feeling of Gran Turismo 7. After the 1.13 update, I'm like, okay, God, all right, they understand. They know what a car is meant to feel like. Good. I don't have to stress anymore. Oh, into that sunset, over the mountains in the distance. Guys, this is what immersion is all about. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Oh, into the sunset. Yes. I'm driving a Mercedes CLK GTR from my favorite era in motorsport, late 90s, on modern day Spa, into the sunset. I'm going to drive it throughout the night and into the morning. It's going to be beautiful. As we establish a healthy lead of 23 seconds by lap 5. I would say that perhaps this car has slightly beaten the PP system. Oh, look at that. Look at that orange hue in the distance. Brilliant. Gorgeous. The lights are on in the car now. Oh, you're gonna see some really good sunset here. Oh, that's just something else. That's wonderful. That's just lovely. Ah, the misting in the distance. So perhaps if you're here and you follow the channel as a, self-professed hardcore sim racer, maybe you're understanding why some of us have a soft spot for Gran Turismo. It creates a driving experience quite unlike any other sim, and this includes AMS2, what I would call the de facto immersion sim in PC land. Now, of course, for VR, AMS2 is still AMS2 is still the king, but I think maybe not for long once we get PS5 VR. Back to this kind of grayish, washed out light blue sort of thing, this kind of pre-evening twilight kind of look, because the sun has set behind the mountains. So, and look at the hue change behind where the clouds are. Now those kind of gradients of purple and pink. It's gorgeous. So you can see it's properly getting dark now. Look at the lights reflecting off everything, really. I mean, this is ray traced. Hell yeah. Heck to the yeah. The pinks and the purples in the distance as the sun sets over the horizon. I mean, this, you can tell where they put most of their attention. I mean, this looks glorious. Oh, look at that. It's proper dark now. We've got the spotlights on, little orange flashes. You can see how narrow our field of vision is going to be as I drive into the night. There's more to it than just the physics. It's the feeling. It's the experience of driving. You feel like you're there. If you allow yourself to get immersed in this race, it's just brilliant. I mean, forgetting the fact that you basically have no competition, and just in case anyone complains, I mean, this is the AI at max. This is as hard as it gets in Gran Turismo 7. I'm just driving my favorite GT car, and I haven't hacked it. I haven't hacked the BOP or anything like that. This is me just driving my favorite, BOP'd GT car here at 24 hours of Spa in 1 hour. It just happens to be very easy, that's all. We will of course begin lapping them. Oh, look at that. Those lights. Man. Look at that lighting balance. It just changes every lap. Those little spotlights. With the beaming from the headlights. Through Radeon. Just gorgeous. Just absolutely gorgeous. I feel like I'm watching the 24 Hours of Spa in real life, but I'm watching it the way I want to be. I get every perspective on the car that I want. Oh, wait. That's rain. Oh man, that's rain. That is rain on the windshield, cool. That just means that things are gonna get a little bit spicier, that's all. Full bore, get my ass to the pits before the water builds up on the track, and just pray I can get inters on time, and hope that it doesn't rain so much that I need full wets. Oh boy, okay, that's a good sign when you get that plume of water behind you. Getting closer. Once it crosses that line in the bottom left there, I'm gonna have a bad time. Like right now, that's pretty bad here. I'm gonna brake early. Oh man, that plume of water. Okay, I've made it. Now straight into the pits for those inters. Just as we begin to lap our first back marker as well, so I've been robbed. All right, driving past, get a nice little cinematic of the car coming into the pits now. I feel like that's new in 1.13. I don't recall seeing that before. I get to see some masters at work here. Look at that. Oh, that's a record. There's your 2 seconds right there. Unfortunately, we need to fuel. And out of the pits we roll. Now we've put inters on, feeling out the tires, feeling out my grip. Not too bad. Blasting out onto the Camel. So far, so good. I've got to feel it out. This is where things get super dynamic. You have to feel out where the grip is, where the grip isn't, where your new brake markers are. You can't go on the curb anymore, that's for sure. You can occasionally take a bit of the inside curb, but you definitely don't want to be braking on the outside curbs to set up your turn. Oh, look at those. That's a nice looking blue flag. Like, that's some pretty blue LED. As we work out our flashes again. They work. Good. Look at that lighting. I mean, this is what it's all about. We're going to start lapping the other cars. You can see that was a back marker, like a proper back marker. We've got another cluster up ahead of us, but it's probably going to take maybe another half lap to catch up to them. Now, I might brake off the line. I'm kind of afraid that there's oil and then it might get slick on there. I'm still not sure if in Gran Turismo if it emulates that. We're starting to see in the bottom left there, the rain is getting a lot higher than I expected. Inters may not be the way. That may not have been the ticket. On the upside, the track looks really sexy and reflective now. Look at that. Whoa, oh man, aquaplane. All right, cool. Inters are not the way. We have a bunch of people leaving the pits, so as soon as we get out of Radeon, this is going to be really interesting. I am slightly concerned, that's fair to say. I know if the amount of standing water gets much higher than that, hey Supra, how you doing? That I'm going to have a lot of trouble exceeding a certain speed limit without aquaplaning. Working out my flashes again. A lot of flashing in this race, so get used to that. If you're epileptic, I'm very sorry. Lacombe, not the traditional line, you might say. As I get some nice, what look like 2000 Kelvin lights in my rearview mirror. Very old school. As we come up to a beautiful 911 RSR, one of my favorite GT cars of all time, sans the one that we're in presently. 458 Italia is not too terrible either, as I just give him a slight love tap on the rear there as he brakes on the apex, as they so love to do. Alright, so we've gotten past that cluster, thankfully. Look how much smaller the CLK GTR is than modern day GTs. It's insane. It's insane. This is almost a different thing entirely. Alright. Whoa! Oh man. Oh no, complete loss! I couldn't hold it there. Luckily, we don't smash into anything, but that is how disastrous it can be if you underestimate what tires you need. So I definitely needed full wets for this. I wasn't expecting the rain to get this bad. Now, of course, because the time acceleration is so high and the weather acceleration is so high, I can't see this coming. I have no idea how bad the rain is going to become. So my best estimate was inters in case it decided to just drizzle a little bit and then get dry in the middle of the night, which it does not appear like it's going to do. Looks more torrential than anything. Here we go. Eau Rouge. Not flat. Definitely not flat. Not even close to flat. Working out the flashies for 911. Oh man, why would you brake on the apex, bro? Don't do that. Alright, not too bad. Handled the curb alright. Coming up behind the Supra again. I don't know if that's first. If that's first again, that'd be hilarious. Lots of flashies. My apologies to the epileptics out there. You get some amazing colorful reflections off the tarmac there. One of the great things about a wet surface, it really gets to flex the ray tracing. And full standstill. These are some hardcore fans. Severely get off the throttle, and the Mazda in front of me really slows, like really proper slows down. Oh no, oh man, you get onto the line there and it's just gone. And then no, aquaplane, no, just snapped in the other direction. Oh no, I hit the wall again. I mean, it's a pretty nice looking crash, guys, come on. You're glad I did it, don't lie. So there you go, it's becomes quite a thing. Tire strategy is a big one, but it's more like a tire gamble because you don't really know what's coming, so you really have to just guess. Full wets, inters, who knows? It can backfire either which way. In this case, I definitely gambled incorrectly. I need to be on full wets right now because Lord only knows when I'm gonna get the next random aquaplane snap, and those are largely uncontrollable. Once it catches you out, that's pretty much it. You're just gonna fishtail all the way down until you eventually lose control in one given direction. Rupu on now, full wet, behind the M8. Flashy, flashy. Just let him know I'm here, let everyone know I'm here. It's me again, the idiot that keeps spinning. Yep, me, just let me through, it's fine, don't worry about it. Beautiful diff noises in there. You really get the works in the cockpit. Now Stavlo in the full wet. I love the hue of the headlights behind me. It's just every car has its own slight tints to the hue. That M8 especially is so distinctive, that really vibrant yellow. It's crazy to think, like I almost spun out because I had two wheels on one of the white lines, which is amazing that the game models that being slick, because of course that happens in real life. But to think that it was actually, whoa, that's, okay, slightly outbraked myself there. That was a little bit embarrassing, actually. It's absolutely brilliant. There's no visibility, you can't see anything. There's just flashes of headlights and just sprays and plumes of water. It's wild. And is he gonna brake? Of course they're gonna brake at the exit of Radeon. Thank you, Mazda, thank you. Oh man, being there on the white line is not good. I'm just slamming the flashes. I'm just annihilating the flashes right now. All I have, let the 911 know what's happening, take him on the outside, almost outbrake myself, get pounded by the 911 on the inside. Their loss of sanity is our gain. Oh, look at that DOF effect there. So much depth of field. Brilliance. Take the WRX on the inside. No chance, Mr. Rally. I don't know how, I'm not even sure in what world the WRX will be racing against CLK GTR, but whatever. It's in the world of Gran Turismo 7. I think the rain is letting off a little bit. I'm starting to see a dry line forming as we go through here. You're starting to see the changes in the surface, right? Everything off the dry line is a little bit reflective, and that kind of indicates to you where you want to be driving now. So theoretically, in a couple of laps, somebody could go onto slicks again and probably start getting better lap times if they feel skilled enough to keep it completely off the wet. Whoa, it's like a little rocket, a little silver bullet. Oh god, Ermin, what are you doing? Oh, that was such an idiotic driver's mistake, Ermin. That was so moronic. That was just me. Yeah, maybe pretend that didn't happen. Yeah, you know, what do I say? You know, don't use inters when you should be using full wets, basically. And drive better than me. So that's really what this comes down to. That's the moral of this story. And be thankful we don't have Beam and G's damage model. Somehow we're still over 2.5 minutes ahead of second. It makes you wonder. Oh, are we starting to see the sun come up over the horizon there? Look at the lightning of the blues in the distance. This might be it. 25 minutes left, the sun might start coming up. We go behind Mr. M8, he slams the brakes like an absolute doofus. What was he thinking to slam the brakes on the apex on a wet track like that? I think we're gonna see the sun come up over the next couple of minutes, and I think it's going to look really, really nice. So stay tuned. That's good for retention when I tell you that. Come up, tunnel vision, flashies, Are we going to make the move on the inside? Apparently we are that moronic. We will try it. Get on the brakes hard. Are we going to outbrake ourselves? No! That was actually really good. Alright. Again, the CLK GTR making up for my lack of skill with its amazing BOP. Sounds like an absolute beast. You really get the diff from this perspective. That transmission whine is so good. And the clunks from that sequential transmission too. Oh, look at that. Look at the lightning of the horizon in the distance. That's special. That is special right there. I mean, that's something that Gran Turismo 7 does better than any sim out there. Look at that road. It's getting nice and bone dry on the line. It's still wet on the outside. This is where you can think to yourself, all right, do I make the gamble? Do I get... Oh, man. Look at that hue change. Look at that change of hue. The light blues now emerging into grays. We still have our floodlights, our headlights illuminating the track, reflecting off the road surface in different hues. The brake lights reflecting off the curbing. Absolutely brilliant. It's just... Oh, man. That's not good driving. Fine. Just focus on the pretties, not my bad driving. Now that light grey emerging into a cool morning. Come on, man. Come on. That's where it's at. Oh, the hues. The sunset hues reflecting off the road. Yes. This is what it's about. Coming up to the bus stop. Pretty bus stop. Light grey bus stop. Ah, with pink hues. So good. So good. Come on. Come on. That's great. I don't even care about the spinning anymore. I just want to look at this. I want to see it more. Oh, man. That's just brilliant. And now imagine when the sun actually emerges behind the mountains, because it's still occluded by the mountains. That's why we're getting the purple hues in the distance, but we're still very light grey here. We're getting non-direct light. Get the nice pink clouds in the distance, just like real life at this time of day. It's gonna dry up my track, I hope, so I can get back onto slicks and actually start setting some times. Whoa, that 458's had a bad time of it. Damn. I get you, bro. I know how it is. Alright, R8, rather slow. My car looking a little bit worse for wear coming out into the morning. Admittedly, that is quite accurate to the real N24. You very rarely do you see cars come out superbly clean after 24 hours of straight racing. Oh, God. Every time I see another external view, it's just like, what? How did you guys get it this right? You know? Like, the other sims aren't even close to this in presentation at these times of day. They've nailed every color balance exactly like real life. Now we're getting the orange reflections off the paintwork of the car. Come on. Come on. This is where it's at. This is the new benchmark. This is the standard. This is where we need to go. Ray tracing for all. Man, what an experience this is. It just feels amazing. You can almost feel the radiant warmth of the sun hitting the cockpit. As I go into the pits again, I guess I've decided, okay, it's time to get back onto the slicks. We can gain some extra time. So we're going to put on the racing hard slicks again. Very quickly. The Tenzas, apparently, by the looks of it. Now we're going to shove a lot of fuel into that car. So this will be the last refueling. This should get me to the end of the race. What a car. I mean, do those other pit crew just kind of hang there, like waiting? Or is everybody literally pitting at the same time as me? No one behind me on the straight, good. I'm ready to fire it up, let's go. Onto the Camel, now I know I'll be okay, as long as I keep it on the dry stuff. This basically turns into that final super license test when you're driving the old school Porsche through here, except, you know, a bazillion times easier because this car actually has handling. Oh man, look at that. Just look at that lighting condition, look at that setup. It's like every new vista you look upon has been scripted to just look magnificent in some way. Look at that! The misting in the distance, that light grey turning to light orange as the sun illuminates it. Like what? What? Alright, now it's getting cloudy. That's starting to worry me. Now it's getting cloudy. And it's getting me... Oh, that looks good. Come on. Wow. Wow. That's pretty special. I'm worried, but that's pretty special. I'm worried because this might mean it might rain again. Again, the weather radar is going to be completely useless to me here because the adverse weather comes on so fast. Definitely starting to look overcast if we look at the lighting condition. Wow. That color hue change as it changes direction is just, it's magnificent. Like no other sim does it at this level. Bye-bye, Mazda. As we accelerate down this very spectacular lighting condition. Very misty morning here at... That's rain. Ah, that's rain, isn't it? Yeah, that's rain. Okay. You look in the bottom left there, and it started just as I've gone past the pits. Now, there's a lot of people on inters that have gone into the pits. Makes you wonder what they'll go back to. Probably inters again. Had I known, I would not have gone back onto slicks, but I have one lap. I need to just blast it down. I need to pray and blast and get back to the pits before it's too late and get another set of inters on. So sometimes just gamble and you gamble wrong. Says the stock market trader. Never had that experience before. Nope. What a brilliant experience. You know? Just a bone-dry track into the evening. Beautiful. Great overtakes. Great run. Rain through the middle of the night. Just chaos. Oh my no, not again! It just completely lost traction. So it shows you how quickly the conditions can change. And I love how irreverent. I love how it just doesn't care. It doesn't care if you feel like you think you're ready for this or not, you know? Like, if you're on slicks and you're on a wet track, you're gonna have a bad time. That's what Gran Turismo 7 is saying. Look at that, look how slow I'm going. The car's just useless. All right, come on, hobble into the pit, 7. Hobble. Hobble, son. All right, back onto the inters. Now, I'm praying that this will be the correct gamble. For once in my life, we'll actually put the correct tires onto the car. That pit crew, they deserve, I mean, they are the MVPs right there. I don't think they do pit stops like that in GT racing, just saying. I don't think it's all 4 tires at the same time, just saying. But, you know, what do I know? I was feeling it out, just like, okay, maybe the inters are good, maybe they aren't. I don't know, there's a lot of standing water. There might be aquaplaning. I'm just gonna cut this guy off, it's gonna be sick. Okay, good. All right, I got my grip back. Let's do this. Just look at that lighting condition again. It's so good. It's so overcast. It's just desaturated. There's less color everywhere. There are patches that are reflective all over the surface of the road. The curbs are quite disastrous, so I'm trying to stay off them as much as possible. You can see I've adjusted my driving style to that. And this is so fun. Really, I don't know in how many more words I can say it. This is just, it's just great. Like, if you have Gran Turismo 7, you haven't driven this race, drive this race. If you didn't buy this car when it was available, too bad. You've missed out on one of the best GT cars in the game, because this thing is a wonder. As we go into Eau Rouge, I'm a little afraid. It's going to lift a lot. And M8 wants to murder me, so we'll just take the inside there. Fine, all good. It'd be great to start seeing ray trace lighting become a normal part of gaming. I know we've been told that it's overrated, the performance hit isn't worth it in racing games, but looking at some of these external shots, I mean, I do wonder. It's like, I certainly can appreciate it. Outbraking the WRX on the inside. Take the inside, and then will he give us the... No, we get a little bit of a crash. Probably my fault there. Look at the lighting, look at the reflections off the road there. This is insane. Like, you would have shown me this 10 years ago and I would have said, what? How is that not real life? In what way is that not real life? Look at this. Just... where else can you have this experience? A GT1 car from '97 racing against a smorgasbord of modern GTE, GT3, whatever else cars. It's the thing about Gran Turismo, it's more about the fun, it's about the experience, it's about the vibe than it is about being 100% exactly like real life. You can see the sun emerging again. Track's starting to dry. Very nice. Lighting condition changing again. You can see more distinct shadows forming on the track surface. You can see a very, very distinct dry line starting to form yet again. Now the trick here is going to be that my tyre is going to start wearing very quickly the moment it gets dry. That's how inters work. Here we go, yet another different lighting condition. It's a slowly drying track with an emerging sun in the distance. Slightly cloudy. Chance of showers. Welcome back to the Weather Channel. Look at that, you can see it. Sun's emerging, it's getting proper sunny now. The hue of the sky is getting like a lighter blue. Everything's becoming more saturated, effervescent, Disney-esque. Glary, shiny. Maybe a little bit too much glare, but whatever, I'll take it. And at the end of this, you feel like you've emerged. You've run it's almost like the hero's journey, you know? It's bone dry, you're on slicks, you go into the evening, suddenly there's torrential rain, you gotta run to the pits without spinning your car. You come out, but you're on the wrong tires, you gotta survive on the wrong tires for the entire evening because it'll cost you more time to swap them out. And then the track dries, you go back on the slicks, and then turns out you made the wrong gamble because it starts to rain again in the morning. So you have to go back in for inters again. But I love that sort of thing. And here we go for our last lap. So we've got a few more back markers to overcome on our last lap. Should make it nice and exciting for us. This extremely drying line now. I'm definitely concerned if there was any more laps than this, I'd be considering going into the pits for new tires because these inters are not going to last very long. It's going to be a spin fest in a couple of laps. Luckily, the CLK GTR isn't that hard on tires from what I can see. Maybe the rears. Oh, that's a good perspective of Radeon right there. As we blast past the Ford. Woo! Damn! What a perspective! What a vista! It looks like a Windows wallpaper. That's just brilliant. That's just something else. Ooh, you can see the grip is not what it once was. Getting a bit of snap oversteer on the entrance and then just followed by massive understeer. Massive understeer, just no grip. These tires have definitely had it. They're not set for these conditions. It's definitely, if we had more hours left, you'd be switching back to the racing slicks right about now. There we go, nice external vista shots as we go past, I think, the M6 GT3, or go side by side with the M6 GT3 for what is presumably the last time. Side by side, bang, okay, possibly my fault there. As we go across the finish line for the very last time. What an experience! There's really nothing more to say that you haven't already seen for yourself. We'll just quickly collect our neat little 1.5 million credits for allegedly running a clean race. How that calculates after spinning so many times, I'll never know. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more Gran Turismo 7 and assorted sim racing content, and don't forget to let me know in the comments below what you thought and what other races you'd like to see recreated here. Until next time, I'll see you all later.